This week on Supercars Torque, Peter Adderton has cancelled his Camaro purchase, Shane van Gisbergen is successful at NASCAR racing, and I preview the racing at Townsville this weekend. The big news this week is that I will be racing on Saturday, not at Townsville, but I've got a Bucks party to go to where we'll be doing some go-karting. So I'll be catching up on all the racing on Sunday, having a quiet one, I think. But that's the big news because it's been a long time since I've got behind the wheel of anything competitive. So wish me luck because, yeah, I'm probably carrying a few extra kilos and will probably struggle to get to the front of the field. But I'm definitely looking forward to that. The actual, well, it's not really big news. Peter Adderton has cancelled his purchase of a Camaro. The human headline once again, and even I'm talking about him. We may as well throw a bit of Renee Gracie in there as well. Free publicity for her too. I do wonder sometimes how much money this guy is actually willing to spend to get his name out there and how much he's just looking for bargain sponsorships and stunts like this to get the Boost name out there. It is definitely working though because we are all eating it up, and yeah, a few people have come and spoke to me during the week about that, and it's not fair that he can't get into the field, etc, etc. How hard has he genuinely tried? Since he's been making a big song and dance about it, I mean, the Groves have come in, Pete Gisbergen has come in as well, there's ways in, and I think they spent money to get in, whereas Pete's trying to get in for free. There's some good news potentially on the Joey Morrison super license saga. He can't get a super license because of reasons. Apparently it's a bit more of I haven't looked into this properly, but apparently it's a bit of an administrative thing with the FIA, where they've ranked him as a silver driver. If he was a gold driver, he'd automatically get a super license if he wanted one. Yeah, but they've ranked him as a silver for some reason, which is usually pretty good. In this case, it is not. And yeah, I thought we could overwrite this if there was extenuating circumstances, but it seems to be a bit of no one's willing to take that, oh yeah, let's do it, that common sense approach. It's all a bit like, oh, well, I don't know, like, I'm not the one who's going to sign it off because they've said that we can't do this. It looks like common sense is going to prevail and he will be racing at Sandown and Bathurst, but I'm still not holding my breath on that one. I think people are a little bit cautious on this because then you might get, I forget who, Matt Charter the other year where he got denied. And also there's the Michael Anderson saga last year, and then maybe if Joey gets his super license, gets a dispensation to get it, then maybe they might come along and be like, oh well, hey, you denied me, I might take court action, and maybe, yeah, that's the only reason I can think that we've got to this point and he's still not allowed to race. Now, as for Shane van Gisbergen racing a NASCAR, the race hasn't happened yet, only qualifying, and we haven't been able to watch that because of reasons. Qualified third, that is unbelievable. I expect him to have a really good race. I probably expect someone to take him out though, but he's obviously he's already showing what he is capable of. I will be tuning in. Yeah, I don't know, I might do a bit of a review on the race afterwards, but that probably won't be for a couple of days. I will try and bury my head under the social media sand so the race doesn't get spoilt for me, because we've got F1 and IndyCar this weekend to watch, but I will try my very best and I will try and sit down and watch a full NASCAR race. But speaking of racing, we have racing coming up this weekend at Townsville. It's a pretty similar format to normal for the Townsville. Friday, 2 30-minute practice sessions. Saturday, 15-minute all-in qualifying session, followed by a top 10 shootout, and then an 88-lap race. Sunday will have exactly the same format. Super 2 will be back again this weekend. There's not enough racing for the main guys during the year. Super 2 seems even worse. Ryan Wood, can we look past him at the moment? I think it's going to be another successful weekend for him. It's hard to tell full form guide though with those guys because it's just been such a long break. People could have, made improvements to their cars, got their heads around things a lot better, and come out all guns a-blazing at Townsville. Townsville usually see a little bit of a change in fortunes for some of them, and this is probably where people start to really swing and get the momentum behind them for the championship. But in the main game, last year we saw Shane van Gisbergen take back-to-back wins. The Shell DJR guys shared the second position on the podium over the weekend, and Cam Waters was third in both races. This weekend, I am fully expecting Shane van Gisbergen to come back from his successful NASCAR jaunt. I'm already calling it successful, even though the race hasn't been run. Qualifying is enough to tell me it has been successful. He's going to come back invigorated and just knock it out of the park. Then it will be Feeney, Waters, and Mostert in their newly Paritized Mustangs. That's another thing. Will we see any parity changes for this weekend? Then, if they're competitive, will people say that the parity changes have been rushed through? Nothing has been announced at this point. I think we will see them try something over the weekend. There has been testing. Tickford had a car running around Winton, testing some things. DJR have had a car running around Queensland Raceway, testing some things. So I think they might try something for the weekend and see how it goes. There hasn't been an official announcement yet, either way, but yeah, I'm expecting Shane van Gisbergen walk away with it. Feeney, Waters and Mostert to be the ones battling out for the podium, with the Erebus guys just behind, and everybody else kind of in their normal-ish positions. Big thing, will Jack LeBrock still be on the pace? Will Team 18 continue with their pace? Will DJR kind of find their way again? Groves have just been up and down all season. Nick Percat. Yeah, a lot of guys with question marks on there. Can the BJR boys find themselves in the top 10 again? Or will it just be Jaime taking the battle? And same with the Tickford guys. Is Cam Waters the only one that will find speed out of that Mustang on the weekend? There is more questions than answers right now, which is, that's pretty normal before the race weekend. But yeah, down in the comments, let me know what your predictions for the weekend are. And a new little thing I'm going to try this week, and I'm going to try and continue this, but we've got a comment of the week. Last week, Graham S. Issue 48 licenses and hire 2 planes. Easy. That was in response to them trying to bring the field back to 24 cars to make it shipping overseas easier. I have no idea how you're going to find space in pit lanes for all of those cars, but I like the way you're thinking. Let's expand the field to more rather than less. I really, as I said in last week's video, I'd prefer them to have, like a pre-qualifying or a leaders circle or something like that with the guys going overseas, and maybe not sending the full field overseas, rather than, bring it down to 24 when a lot of the tracks around Australia, granted not all of them, but we did have days where we had 32 cars in the field that were running around at every event. So there is a way that we can do it. Why can't we do it? Yeah. Places like the Grand Prix, maybe they've got to limit it back to that 26, but have you pre-qualifying that for those rounds. But Bathurst should have at least 40 cars, I reckon, in it. But anyway, that's my thoughts. Yeah, down in the comments, let me know what your predictions are for the weekend. But until next time, I'm still Dave, and I'll catch you later.